What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Kvaratskhelia, the brilliant Georgian talent, because Liverpool and other clubs have been put on red alert after Kvaratskhelia's father and agent came out with an explosive statement that his son wants to leave Napoli because Napoli had an absolutely disastrous season, finishing in 9th place or 8th place in the Serie A, not qualifying even for Europe, and that was probably one of the worst title defenses of any title winning team in history, at least in the top 5 leagues. And the agent of Kvaratskhelia has come out and released a statement making shockwaves in around the world of football. And Liverpool have been scouting Kvaratskhelia for the past year, and Liverpool are big fans of him, big admirers of him. But so far we thought he's not for sale until this statement. So the agent of Kvaratskhelia spoke on Georgian TV and said that his client, Kvaratskhelia, wants to leave Napoli and go to a Champions League team. So this is what he said: "I don't want people to think that Kvara wants to stay at Napoli. We want to leave, but we are waiting for the end of the Euros so as not to disturb Kvicha. The priority is to join a team that plays in the Champions League." Wow! But he just released this statement before even Georgia played their first game. It's a big statement. One of the most iconic players of the Napoli team that won their first title since the Maradona days. And even Kvaratskelia's father has joined in the discussion or conversation. "I don't want my son to stay at Napoli," that's what he said. They changed 3 coaches last season and it's hard to play in a similar situation. Basically, in the last 1 year, Kvaratskhelia had 4 different coaches that managed him. And his father thinks that that's not a good environment for Kvaratskhelia. Napoli replied actually to both the player's agent and to his father, and he issued an official, very strongly worded statement in reference to statements by Kvaratskelia's agent Mamuka Jugali and his father Badri Kvaratskhelia. Calcio Napoli reiterates that Kvaratskhelia, the player, has another 3 years left on his contract with Napoli. Kvaratskhelia is not for sale. It is not the agents or the fathers who decide on the future of a player under contract with Napoli, but the club. End of story. So this is now an official full-out war between the Kvaratskhelia camp and the club. And those wars, those kind of battles rarely end with peace. They rarely end with the player staying at Napoli. So basically, Kvaratskhelia puts himself on the market, and Napoli, of course, will play hardball because the player still has another 3 years left on his contract. But Napoli won't really want to keep a player who is so unhappy and who publicly wants to leave. And I mean, if Kvaratskhelia didn't really want to leave, then his father and his agent wouldn't tell pretty publicly the world that they want Kvaratskhelia out of Napoli, and Kvaratskhelia wants out of Napoli. So this puts Liverpool absolutely on high alert. And if you are excited about this, leave a like on this video. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. And in this video, we will take a look at Kvaratskelia's past few seasons and his playing style and how he could fit in at Liverpool. So Napoli signed Kvaratskhelia just 2 years ago in the summer of 2022, and he quickly became one of the best players at Napoli. In his first season, they together with Napoli won a historic first Serie A title for 40 years or something crazy like that. And Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain and other clubs are interested in Kvaratskhelia. And he's at the perfect age. He's just 23 years old and he scored 11 goals and got 8 assists in the Serie A this season in 34 games. He played 80% of the minutes. He started 84% of the games. His current market value is around 80 million euros, but I'm sure Napoli would want to ask for a little bit more than that. In all competitions, he had 11 goals and 9 assists in 45 games. So he was very rarely injured, which I absolutely love. but last season his numbers were even better. And in his first season at Napoli, where Napoli won their first league title in many years, he scored 14 goals and got 17 assists. So that made him instantly one of the best wingers in the Serie A and one of the best players in terms of young talent. And overall, his statistics are really impressive. He has, in 88 games, 25 goals and 26 assists for Napoli. So 51 goal contributions in 88 games is really impressive. And Kvaratskhelia is too good to play for a team who's not even in Europe. So I understand the father and the agent where they are coming from, but they shouldn't publicly announce this at the beginning of the Euros. They should have just kept their mouth shut. But probably it is because they want interest in their client. That's usually where they are going for, what they are going for, that they want all the clubs to show their cards. They want all the clubs to approach the agent of Kvaratskhelia and publicly or privately tell them what their offer is and what kind of options Kvaratskhelia has. That's what this is all about. The agent and the father know what they are doing. They know how football works. They weren't born yesterday, so they know how this works. And Kvaratskhelia has won the Serie A with Napoli. He also won 3 times Footballer of the Year in Georgia, and he also won the Player of the Year at Napoli in the year where Napoli won their first league title. He also won the Russian Cup with Lokomotiv Moscow, but no other trophies. And Kvaratskhelia wants to play in the Champions League regularly, so I can understand why his father and his agent came out and said that they want a Champions League club for Kvaratskhelia. And the last time Napoli won the league title was in 1990, so the same year that Liverpool won the league title. So they waited more than 30 years for their first league title. And the way Napoli has fallen off this season and the way they changed managers was really disappointing. And the fact that his agent wants Kvaratskhelia to leave Napoli and to go to a Champions League club is no really a surprise, because they don't want to stay at Napoli where the project is going downhill right now. And the agent also said that the most important thing right now for Kvaratskhelia is the national team. Our goal is a team that plays in the Champions League. The worst thing is that if he stays here, Kvicha will lose 1 year because of that, so we are worried. And basically Kvaratskhelia doesn't want to stay at Napoli. They don't want to play just the Serie A. They want to play in the Champions League. And according to some newspapers, the Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis has made moves to actually secure Kvaratskelia's future at the club. He has sent a new contract proposal to Kvaratskelia's camp, which includes a higher salary and a release clause. But if the agent is sincere with his comments that Kvaratskhelia wants to leave, then they won't sign a new contract. And even his agent said that with the new manager Antonio Conte, Napoli have big plans. I'm sure that Napoli will probably qualify for the Champions League again next season and fight for the Serie A title. But that doesn't mean that Kvaratskhelia wants to stay at Napoli. I haven't spoken with Kvicha about this issue. The most important thing for him is the national team. Our goal is to join a team that plays in the Champions League. And I mean, if it is really true that they haven't discussed Kvaratskelia's future, then what is the agent even doing there? Like, isn't he doing his job straight away after the season is finished? You should ask your client, how do you feel about the future? Do you want to leave? Do you want to stay? Should I look for clubs that are interested in you? So I'm sure that they have talked about this. Maybe the agent is saying just to get the heat of Kvaratskhelia, and everybody blaming the agent doesn't really hurt the agent because he doesn't really have a public profile or a public image. They don't want all the heat going on Kvaratskhelia, because if Kvaratskhelia himself came out with these statements that I want to leave Napoli, I don't want to play for a club who is not in the Champions League, the fans would absolutely flame Kvaratskhelia and they would absolutely hate him. But instead now they are hating the agent, and the agent is all about that commission and that money. He doesn't really care about the public's perception of him, because he's just an agent and that's literally his job, to find the best offer for his client, but it's still pretty shady tactics, and I don't really like what the agent is doing. He's drumming up interest in his client, but that's what agents do nowadays, and that's the world where football is going towards in that direction, really. So this is a quite unusual and dramatic situation, but do you agree with Kvaratskhelia's father? He said that Kvaratskhelia, my son, has worked with 4 different coaches in 1 year. This worries me a lot. He will decide for himself, although it's an uncomfortable situation for me. So yeah, probably he's concerned that Kvaratskhelia development is going downhill and going off the rails because he has been working with so many different coaches, and the environment in Napoli was very unstable up until now. And even Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Napoli have already submitted an offer to extend Kvaratskhelia's contract, but the fact that Kvaratskhelia's agent came out with this statement means that Kvaratskhelia probably doesn't want to stay at Napoli, doesn't want to sign a new contract, he wants to leave. And Liverpool are definitely interested in him. And Kvaratskhelia also became a national hero when he helped Georgia qualify for their first international tournament after firing them to qualification for the Euro 2024 tournament. So you can see him in action at the Euros later this week. His main position is the left winger position. That's where he mostly plays, and you could argue that Liverpool don't really want a left winger because we already have Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo, but Luis Diaz has been of interest of Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona, and there is an argument that if Liverpool get a really good offer, like 75 million for Luis Diaz, then they might entertain that offer, and they might think about selling Luis Diaz and getting Kvaratskhelia in as a replacement who is younger, maybe with a higher ceiling. Kvaratskhelia has like a little bit more goal output than Luis Diaz, but you also have to consider Kvaratskhelia has had 2 seasons of really top European football so far, and yeah, he's very young still, 23 years old, so his best years are ahead of him, while Luis Diaz is at his peak right now. And Liverpool signed Luis Diaz for around 45 million pounds, so if we could sell him for 75 million, we could make a very good profit on him, very hefty profit on him, and sign a player who is younger than Luis Diaz and who has the potential to score even more goals and get even more assists, while also being very electric. There is no wonder that Kvaratskhelia got the nickname Kvaradona, because he had some kind of similar dribbling style to Maradona. Of course, he's not as good as Maradona was, nowhere near, because Maradona was one of the best players in the world at his time. But Kvaratskhelia is still a very good player, and he is capable of scoring around 15 goals and getting around 10-15 assists per season on average. So that really is encouraging for Liverpool fans if Liverpool do end up signing him. So I'm really looking forward to where this transfer story goes, and let me know, do you think Liverpool should go after Kvaratskhelia or not? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.